Entering the examination hall, the first thing Shadow did was to force her mother to get a divorce. Her father was overjoyed and left with his true love to live happily ever after. Little did he know that a few years later, he would be impoverished and sick, dying on the streets. In contrast, with Shadi's rebirth, her mother, who was blessed with newfound financial capabilities, would stand at the forefront of opportunities and reach the pinnacle of academia. Before entering the exam hall, Shai, with tears in her eyes, rushed to her mother's side. She hugged her mother tightly and burst into tears. In her previous life, her mother had been driven to despair by Shai, but now she stood there dressed in a red cheongsam, smiling with 60% love, 30% worry, and 10% anxiety. Who could understand this feeling? Onlookers kindly stepped aside, whispered among themselves, "Look at that pitiful sight. She must have messed up the exam." She's mother wiped the tears from her face and said, "Honey, it's okay. Our family doesn't need those few points. Failing the college entrance exam is not a big deal. Don't even think about doing anything stupid." Was this the same mother who, in her past life, had practically willed Shai to the desk? Shai hesitated for a moment, then knelt down. "Mom, if you promise me one thing, I will live." The crowd was in an uproar. The discussions oscillated between condemning the immense pressure of the current education system on children and criticizing the shameless behavior of spoiled kids. Taking advantage of the commotion, Shai dragged her mother and ran to a familiar bridge. "Mom, if you don't divorce Dad, I'll jump from here." As she said this, she was filled with a gallant determination, ready to sacrifice herself. In her previous life, her mother had refused to divorce her father, crying until her eyes could barely see. She had even endured the humiliation of her father flaunting his mistress at home. Watching her mother's hopelessness and suffering, Shai had used every means to force her to sign the divorce papers. Her mother cried for a long time, eventually took her own life by jumping off this very bridge. From that moment, Shai never saw her mother again. In this life, no matter the judgment of others, Shai vowed to make it up to her mother. Slap! A sharp slap landed on Shi's face, stinging intensely. Shai felt embarrassed, but also deeply happy. Having her mother care for her again felt wonderful. Is such a trivial matter worth risking your life? You scared me to death. Come on, let's go sign the divorce papers right now. Shi's mother turned decisively, the hem of her red cheongsam swaying beautifully. Shai covered her face, feeling as bewildered as a child who had stumbled into a dark world. "Sweetheart, let me tell you something," Shi's mother said as she sat on the old, horizon couch, carefully surveying the surroundings like a spy in her favorite espionage drama. "A few days ago, I kept hearing voices in my head talking about superpowers and super abilities. It scared me so much. I thought I might be going crazy from your dad's constant stress. But I told myself, I couldn't lose it until you finish your college entrance exams." Seeing her mother's serious expression, Shai felt like laughing, though her nose tingled with the threat of tears. Every day, it nagged at me, saying it would awaken some system in me. Of course, I didn't believe it. Then it said that if I made your dad miserable, I'd start earning money. What a ridiculous idea, right? Shi's mother clapped her hands, eyes gleaming as she asked, "Guess what happened next?" "What happened?" Shai echoed, her heart pounding with an overwhelming sense of joy and anticipation. "The next day, I didn't wake your dad up, so he was late for work. On his way, he got into a fender bender, and then he was caught by the disciplinary inspection team at his workplace. Holy cow, that day, my WeChat account had an extra 10,000 bucks. I'm telling you, sweetie, your dad came home and pointed at me, cursing me out." I almost burst out laughing. Shai giggled, hugging her mother tightly. "No wonder I've seen you doing all the cooking and laundry lately. So, you've truly awakened a superpower to earn money, huh?" "Exactly. Your dad didn't have a good meal at home for 3 days. He went out to buy breakfast, cut in line, and got punched by a young man behind him. Someone filmed the whole thing and posted it online. Not only was he beaten up, his boss also chewed him out. When he came home, he grabbed the clothesline pole to hit me. I hid in the bathroom and watched my account on my phone, 10 grand more. So I say, honey, let's go through with the divorce. Without him, you'll have no hot meals, no clean clothes, and a pile of relatives asking for money. We'll sit back, watch him suffer, and earn money. How does that sound? Honestly, Shai didn't entirely believe her mom would agree to divorce her dad, considering in her past life, her dad had brought his mistress into their home, and even then, her mom couldn't bring herself to leave him. But now, her mom slapped her thigh, stood up, and said, let's do it. Shai felt her heart sink and her face turn pale. Then her mom added, before signing the papers, we need to think of ways to make him suffer even more. That bastard flaunting his cheap lover in front of me, thinking I was as good as dead. Now that I can earn money, you can study or do whatever you want without fear. Her mom scanned the kitchen, muttering about how much she'd there if her dad forgot to turn off the gas and caused an explosion. Then she dashed to the bathroom, imagining how much she'd make if her dad slipped and broke a bone while mopping the floor after a shower. Oh my gosh, she was dazzlingly shining in the allure of money. Don't worry, Mom. I promise Dad won't just have the worst luck, he'll have even worse luck. In her previous life, Sh's scumbag father lived a happy life with his mistress, only to suddenly find himself a proud father of a baby boy after many years of hoping for a son-daughter. It turned out that the child wasn't his, but a product of the mistress's affair with another man. The shock and rage led to a stroke, leaving him in a vegetative state. The mistress took his money and ran, abandoning his mother, who had been taking care of the pregnant mistress, out on the streets without a second thought. His mother ended up begging on the streets, eventually finding her way to the hospital, where she clung to her new lifeless son and wept bitterly. Now, while the witch and the dog were still trying to get together, Shai was determined to ensure their eternal suffering. Upon hearing that Sh's mother finally agreed to the divorce, her father was so delighted that he laughed like a pig being slaughtered. Pretending to be concerned, but barely hiding his excitement, he said, Yutong, Dad knows you don't really want to stay with your Megan, stingy mother. Dad has a new woman now and worries he won't be able to take good care of you. How about you stay with me, and your grandmother will look after you, good grief. That calculative mind of his. Shai couldn't believe she fell for it in her past life. Back then, seeing that he was willing to take Cheyenne, her mother gave him both the new and old houses, specifically leaving the larger one for Shai. And what did he do? He turned around and tried to dump the burden, thinking Shai would be an obstacle in his new life. He even had the audacity to make her sell the house right after her mother died, all under the pretense of needing money for her future stepbrother. Damn him. Suppressing the urge to scratch his face, Shai cried sincerely, Dad, I know you love me, though just leave the cash and the new house in the new district to me, and I'll reluctantly go with Mom, so you can pursue your new life freely. His smile instantly vanished. The new district house is 165 square meters. Why would you need such a big house? At most, you can have the old 90 square meter house. Seeing he was wavering, Shai cried even more piteously. Dad, I'm your granddaughter. Who will take care of you when you get old? Can't you consider leaving a bit more for me and Mom? You're just a little girl. Why would you need such a big house? Are you planning to bribe some bull? The mistress, with her garish makeup and loud mouth, pushed the door open and walked in. From the next room, Sh's mother, who had been waiting for the signal, charged in furiously. What nonsense are you spouting? You're a homewrecker. Think you're something special? Go look at yourself in the mirror. Leeway you, let me tell you, if you don't make me happy today, I'm not getting a divorce. Figure it out yourself, huh? Money sure gives people confidence. His mother ended up begging on the streets, eventually finding her way to the hospital, where she clung to her new lifeless son and wept bitterly. Now, while the witch and the dog were still trying to get together, Shai was determined to ensure their eternal suffering. Upon hearing that Sh's mother finally agreed to the divorce, her father was so delighted that he laughed like a pig being slaughtered. Pretending to be concerned, but barely hiding his excitement, he said. His mother ended up begging on the streets, eventually finding her way to the hospital, where she clung to her new lifeless son and wept bitterly. Now, while the witch and the dog were still trying to get together, Shai was determined to ensure their eternal suffering. Upon hearing that Shi's mother finally agreed to the divorce, her father was so delighted that he laughed like a pig being slaughtered. Pretending to be concerned, while barely hiding his excitement, he said. His mother ended up begging on the streets, eventually finding her way to the hospital, where she clung to her new lifeless son and wept bitterly. Now, while the witch and the dog were still trying to get together, Shai was determined to ensure their eternal suffering. Upon hearing that Shi's mother finally agreed to the divorce, her father was so delighted that he laughed like a pig being slaughtered. Pretending to be concerned, but barely hiding his excitement, he said. His mother ended up begging on the streets, eventually finding her way to the hospital, where she clung to her new lifeless son and wept bitterly. Now, while the witch and the dog were still trying to get together, Shai was determined to ensure their eternal suffering. Upon hearing that Shi's mother finally agreed to the divorce, her father was so delighted that he laughed like a pig being slaughtered. Pretending to be concerned, but barely hiding his excitement, he said. But her mother, now empowered, almost couldn't hold back her wrath. Finally, after getting Li Weiyu to sign a disinheritance statement in the divorce papers, securing the old house's property certificate, Shi's mother's account swelled with $1,000,000. Stunned, she looked at Shai. How did you know Li Weiyu would suffer misfortune with the No District house? Mom, I have a secret to tell you. His mother ended up begging on the streets, eventually finding her way to the hospital, where she clung to her new lifeless son and wept bitterly. Now, while the witch and the dog were still trying to get together, Shai was determined to ensure their eternal suffering. Upon hearing that Shi's mother finally agreed to the divorce, her father was so delighted that he laughed like a pig being slaughtered. Pretending to be concerned, while barely hiding his excitement, he said. Seeing this dramatic scene, her scumbag father hesitated. Taking a deep breath and preparing to lash out again, Shai wouldn't give him a chance. She slid to her knees and clung to his legs, crying, Dad, please talk to Mom. I genuinely want you to attend my college acceptance banquet, but Mom just won't allow it. College acceptance banquet? With your lousy grades? You have the nerve to throw a party even if you got into a technical school. Li Weiyu sneered suspiciously at Shai. Her mother immediately picked up the cue, continuing the act. See, I told you. Even if she got into a prestigious university like Beta, he'd rather make a fool of himself with his little lover than be proud of her. Lin Yutang, are you really willing to break off all relations with your father over such a trivial matter? Don't be so heartless, Beta, really? Show me the admission letter. Li Weiyu's eyes lit up, his voice rising several octaves. With trembling hands, he took the admission letter and gave it a close-up from every angle before posting it on his social media. The caption read, "Didn't worry too much, and yet the kid turned out so well. Honestly, it made one want to punch him." Within minutes, congratulatory messages and calls flooded his phone, making him beam with pride. In the air-conditioned room set to 20 degrees, his shiny forehead still managed to sweat profusely. After repeatedly emphasizing that the college acceptance banquet had to include all his competent colleagues, he finally picked up his phone and gratefully placated his mistress before strolling out the door with satisfaction. Just like that, he didn't even question the old house's redevelopment. What a smooth operation. Shi's mother, unable to believe her eyes, looked from his triumphantly departing back to her newly swollen bank balance, feeling a dizzying wave of happiness. I told him the redevelopment is still just a vague possibility, but your acceptance to Beta brings him real status, so he wouldn't dare to question it further. Sadly, he's never going to know that the happier he is now, the more tragic the banquet will be. Mom, you should start counting your money until your hands cramp. Dear audience, Shai was very confident, given the nature of both Shai and Li Weiyu. She knew them all too well. Sure enough, the entire leadership, office colleagues, employees from related departments, and low-level affiliates were all present to witness Li Weiyu's exemplary parenting. Li Weiyu, dressed in a suit and tie, flitted among the layers and colic like a black butterfly, as if she still a score or 686 was entirely his doing. When the host whipped the crowd into a frenzy, Shai invited Li Weiyu to the stage, sincerely stating, "Today's honor belongs to my dear father." Li Weiyu, eyes brimming with tears, received thunderous applause from the audience. Lowering her gaze momentarily, Shi's eyes swept over her cousin sculling the stage edges. Taking a deep breath, she smiled and began to speak. "Ever since I was a child, my dad told me that girls were worthless and that we wouldn't amount to anything. Our only goal was to marry a man and secure a meal ticket. That's why I studied so hard. My dad and his mistress kicked us out of our own home, forcing my mom and me to take refuge in study rooms, where I slept on the floor just to memorize every bit of knowledge needed to ace my exams. My dad planned to leave the house to his future heir, forcing me to worry about my mother's care and my own living expenses. That's why I chose Beta for the scholarships and work study opportunities. So, to my dear father, the respected Li Weiyu," she raised her head. Smiling bravely, "I sincerely thank you. I wish you and your beloved mistress a long life, full of sons and grandsons." The stage light shone on Li Weiyu, turning his face bead red.